Everybody's been asking about the GT1. Why haven't I done a review on it, and why am I not riding it anymore? I bought the GT1 because I wanted a main character type of scooter. I wanted a scooter where you step on it and alpha status is established instantly. I must admit, up until I caught a flat tire in the back, the GT1 was fulfilling that role to the T. By virtue of its wheelbase and its 11-inch tubeless tires, it has a very smooth ride. In spite of its shocks, which are not very impressive, I was ready to do my review on the GT1, but whenever I caught the flat tire, that prevented me from catching cinematic B-roll shots. The GT1 deserves a full review. That's how I feel about it. If you watch the Apollo City Pro review, I just talked while I was riding it. And that's because it's a shitty scooter. It doesn't really deserve a full cinematic review. That's my opinion on it. I've driven this scooter a whole bunch. My opinion has not changed on it. I put hundreds of miles on the Apollo since I did that review, and my opinion has only degraded. It has not improved one bit. The ride has gotten worse. I have no desire to go faster. The shocks, the brakes, everything is worse than when I did the review. So if you think that unlocking the app would suddenly turn my 1-star review into a 5-star review, you're smoking crack. Go back and watch the review. Nothing that I complain about with the Apollo has anything to do with the app not being unlocked. With the rear tire being flat on the GT1, I ordered new brake pads, new front and rear tire, and I talked with Segway about sending me new front and rear dampers under warranty. I'm sorry to say, the whole thing falls apart once you start talking about changing the rear tire. If you watch the instructional video for changing your rear tire on Segway's YouTube channel, they have you changing the rear tire with the wheel still attached by the cable to the scooter. I already didn't like the look of having to leave the rear tire attached to the scooter, but that's how they did it in the video, so I figured, whatever, let's do it. Well, the first thing is, whenever I took the rear wheel off, the decorative hubcaps covering the axle nut, it was like a 9.5 on one side and an 8.5 on the other side. I had to use a hammer and chisel to get the decorative axle nut covers off. Strike one. Then I got the wheel off, but there wasn't enough slack in the cable to get the thing up onto the deck. No big deal. I'll just take the deck apart a little bit more. So I start taking things apart. I take the whole fucking scooter apart. I get down to the circuit board. I'm like, surely, here is where the journey ends. I'm gonna take the cable off of the circuit board. I'll take this little tire to a tire shop and I'll get a couple dudes to help me change the wheel. Well, take a look right here. You see what that says? Void if removed. You see this cable? Does that look like you can remove that easily? No, that is permanently attached. So you're telling me that my rear motor is permanently attached to my Segway GT1? Dude, that's probably a deal breaker. I haven't made my final verdict. I haven't made my final review yet, but that's a big deal. How are you gonna say my warranty is void if I remove my rear motor? How am I supposed to recommend the GT1 when the only place that you can take it to get it serviced is a repair shop in California? They have one repair shop in the whole country as far as I know, and it's in Los Angeles. You understand? This is something that is going to need maintenance, and they're purposefully making it void your warranty if you try to maintain it without going through Segway. Deal breaker. Probably a deal breaker. Don't hold me to it yet. Probably a deal breaker. Probably don't go buy the Segway GT1.